Hello, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to explore the patch which was recently dropped by the Foundation team on a new update called Minerals and Craftsmanship 1.6. It's been a few days since they dropped it. As you can see, there were some issues which raised as a result of this, and they have patched two hot fixes actually. Today is the 19th of July. So yeah, we are going to not look at the hot fixes because that would be too much. That's just them fixing things which came as a result of this deployment. So we'll just be looking at this deployment. So what's new? What are the most important things? I'm not going to read every single thing. We're just going to dive into what's new. So there's something new called new minerals. So we can distract and extract new minerals. Discover and extract, not distract. Discover and extract new minerals. So what are these new minerals? As some of you might remember, there are some products which we can buy from other cities which we can't make ourselves, such as jewelry and glass. This is basically giving us access to buildings which will make those products. So we don't need to ship them in from outside. We can actually mine them within ourselves. So those are the new minerals, from gold rich veins to glittering quartz nodes. Quartz nodes are going to give us the ability to make stained glass. This is a picture of it. This is possibly a bailiff who's walking across. I think the bailiff's role has expanded, although in our gameplay, in our playthrough, we haven't still come to what a bailiff does. So I guess this is one thing he would do, prospecting. And you can see here that there is a huge chunk of rock that these women are working on to get, I think, quartz. So we could see resources like this popping up. They have wonders that saved games might not break, but some of our buildings might be missing just because these resources would spawn out. So let's hope none of our major buildings get vanished because of this. Coming down further, you have some new buildings, and you can build new structures called masterpieces. Now, there's one major change which they have, which is that we will have to have builders' workshops for doing any sort of construction. But the builders' workshop seems like it's going to be not one building, it's going to be a series of buildings. So kind of like a building complex, like our church or our rustic church or the Lord Manor or the market. So that will be interesting to see what are the different options that we have. It says that builders can craft various objects such as sculptures and stained glass within that premises, which is good. We don't need to have a separate supply chain for stained glass or sculptures, which is interesting. The other thing is masterpieces. Masterpieces are specific monuments which we can build. So there's a masterpiece over here. Seems like a woman made of gold, a man who's angry with her, I guess, and another one that's mooning us. So yeah, so it says that there are 9 masterpieces which we can discover and build, and each of them will unlock specific conditions. Now this leads us down to something more interesting, which is tourism. Tourism seems to be something that they've opened up in this game, which is something that I've never seen in a medieval city building game before. So we'll come to that quickly. And then there are new production buildings. There are new production cycles which they have, because obviously we have gold, which means you need some place to refine the gold. Ergo, a gold smelter. And we need something to work the quartz. So yeah, so there will be new productions. I don't know if it's just going to be animations into buildings that fit in this complex, or there has to be a separate building for it which feeds into the we're not sure. So once we jump into the game, we'll know that. Of course, the bailiff's responsibilities are increased, so you will have bailiff mandates for prospecting new resources and researching blueprints within the estate. So they've mentioned here saying the scholar was unhappy and has now left. I think the position of the scholar is now moot and therefore they have removed it, but I don't know. We need to go in and see. The next big thing is pathing inside buildings. So this is something which we didn't come up with as a major issue because we don't have any structures like that, but here is a very good example of what they mean by it. So this is a church or some sort of structure like that, which has a door here and a door up top. So now this gentleman who's walking down from the well can actually go through the building and come out. So he doesn't have to go all the way around to climb up the building. So this is pathing inside buildings. As we go into the game further and we build monasteries, you will understand why this is something which is very obvious and something which is very, very important, which we just didn't bother thinking about. I mean, not us per se, because in our gameplay it still hasn't come in, but just in general. So this is the tourism part that we were talking about, which is visits. So seems like villagers from other places will visit. This is something interesting for us to see. So does that mean we will get more traffic to a tavern? Are there other sorts of buildings, like maybe hotels and restaurants? Maybe, I don't know. City Skylines has this specific zoning that we can do for commercial buildings, which cater to visitors. And they also have parks. They have like a lot of structures which can make you a very big tourist attraction. So is there going to be something like that? We don't know. We do have monuments, that's for sure. And we have shrine masterpieces, but there are just 9 of those. So let's see how deep it goes. Well, I mean, even if in this patch, this is not implemented in great detail, I'm sure that going forward, just this idea being part of a medieval city building game opens so many different opportunities for us. I mean, we tend to think that tourism is something which came about recently because it's easier for us to travel now. But tourism has always been something big, especially with the pilgrimages that people go on, and the crusades, and of course, save the part. Let's not consider the part of the killing and the war and all of that. But besides that, there was traveling. People did go from one place to another, and they did actually visit specific places which were very famous. There are some other features. These are basically, just to make your gameplay easier. There is a new notification panel. Bridges can be built much more easier. We didn't have this issue because we don't have a river in our map. But yeah, bridges were notoriously difficult to build, just because you couldn't raise the height of a bridge. You just had to start from a place and then extend it out. And oftentimes you started and you extended it, and then you realized that you needed to pull the starting point a little bit behind or a little bit closer to the water, and you weren't able to do it. You had to cancel the bridge and then build it again. So maybe they've done that better. Let's see. There are new animations, new modding functions, new sounds, new improved grass and cliff visuals, 9 new achievements, plus a lot of improvements. And that's followed by a changelog of new features, improvements, art, characters and animation, environment, bug fixes, modding, and so forth. So this is an exciting release. I'm just scrolling down. It's more of the same thing. It's just updates from previous dates. But yay, we are excited to play this. And on that note, let's put a cut in this video and come back with the game. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye then.